Welcome to the Mad Black Dad podcast, and here we are again, episode 5, 6, 5, 5, episode 5. Welcome to the Mad Black Dad podcast. This is episode 5. I really want to clear up something that happened, I guess, in the comments, or so it wasn't really in the comments, but something that was passed on to me after last week's episode. Somebody told me that I looked like I didn't want to be on camera for the last one, and I'm a little offended. I'm a little offended. I think that I'm relatively photogenic, so I don't think that I look like that. Let me know if I actually did, but I really don't think that I look like that. But I will say that it's different being on camera in this capacity. I used to stream on Twitch, and I had a camera set up, so like I've been on camera, but it's a little different. So like with this, I am just talking to y'all or myself in front of a camera, and there's no level of like engagement. It's just me talking. And then on Twitch, it's like, okay, well, I'm talking and I'm talking about the game that I'm playing, or it's multiple people in the chat, so I'm responding to chat, or there's actually people, you know, on the Discord call with me or in the voice chat with me. So like I'm also talking to other people. So it's a huge difference. It's really a huge difference. I don't think that I look like I didn't want to be on camera. I just thought that being on camera by myself, with nothing else but my words and my thoughts and this really cool Basquiat behind me, was just different, and I was okay with that. But whatever. Let me know in the comments what you think. Did I look like I didn't want to be on camera? I don't know. Whatever. This week I wanted to talk about something that actually like just happened. I thought it was hilarious and sad and true, and it was a lot, but it brought up a whole bunch of like mixed emotions about it, and it's something that I've just kind of been processing. So the other day, Mark Lamont Hill posted a picture on Instagram that had like a kid with like the Jordan crying face meme, and it said, "Me, Mom, I'm depressed," or a parent, "I'm depressed," and then the parent's like, "You better depress them dishes." And it was hilarious. It was so funny. He posted it, I took it, I reposted it on my story. A bunch of people was laughing like, ha ha ha, you know, that's funny, sad but true. You know, no, my parents was just like this. And it was wild. And it's a lot of things. I laugh because if I look back on it, right, I was probably depressed for like a good portion of like my high school career. But you know, there was never ever talks about it. I never had a conversation with my mother to say, hey, I'm depressed. It was just the thing. I was just going. And I probably didn't even know the language that is like, I am depressed, but I know I had some like poems that I was writing and posting on like Facebook that was probably super emo, and even stuff that I didn't even get the chance to post. It was just like, oh, this is dark. This kid is crying out for help. We should probably see about him. But you know, I maintained halfway decent grades. I played football, you know, threw shot, put, and discus. So it was like, oh no, he's still functioning. He has friends. Life is good. Don't worry about him. I would have never gone to my mother and said, Mom, I'm depressed. And I feel confident that she would have told me to depress them dishes. But, you know, it is sad but true. And I look at some of the students that I work with now, and their parents are really hitting them with that line, depress them dishes, or nah, don't even, you're not depressed, you just need to get back to work, or you need to focus on them grades. And it's sad, and it is true, and they're crying, and I'm just looking at them like, no, I can see that. Like, your parents are, you know, not too much younger than my parents, so here we are, all cut from the same very toxic cloth. And I remember, and this next part is like, as an adult, which I found to be hilarious but sad at the same time, much like this whole thing. Um, I decided I was gonna go and and start therapy. I was really gonna try therapy, and I was gonna give it like the real try. Somebody had referred me to this guy, and I'm like, all right, let's try it. So the first session was all right, just like get to know you thing, whatever. It kind of worked out. It's like, you know what, this is cool. I'm gonna try again. I went back. I think I got maybe up to like the third, maybe the fourth session before he really decided to like dig in. And he said, well, you know what? You're probably depressed. Like, based on some of the questions you've answered, this survey that you kind of took, I'm not really able to like fully diagnose you because, that's not what I do. But these are definite signs of depression. And how do you feel about that? And I'm like, that was never like a word that was in my vocabulary. I never knew that I was depressed. And I was in my early 20s. So it's like, let's I never knew that I could be depressed. Like I always did this. Everything's been so good for me. It was a thing. So I took that and I went and I told my dad. I said, Dad, I've been going to therapy. I've been going to this guy, about your age, whatever. I wanted to like have that adult male, black man, father figure-esque type thing working for me. I thought that was going to be a good line of therapy for me. It wasn't, but we're going to get to that. And I told my dad, I said, Dad, based on that, I was like, he said he thinks I might be depressed, and I think I am too. Like it makes a lot of sense. He was like, depressed. No, you're not. No, you couldn't be depressed. Look at you. You're young. You're healthy. You have a job. You have a woman. Like things are going good for you. How could you be depressed? You're not depressed. I don't believe it. He's lying. He's lying to you. You could not be depressed. And it was like, whoa. I went to this professional, right? And he used all of his license and credentials and college credits and, years on the job experience to let me know that it is possible. It's not proven, it's not fact, but it is possible that I might be depressed. And here's my dad, a 50-something-year-old black man who grew up in the military and, matured in the military and had various life experiences, going to tell me that I was not depressed. And I didn't feel seen as an adult man. I did not feel seen, and that was rough. So now going back to the meme, I know that other people have like resonated with this, and other people have also felt unseen because of their mental health and then their parents' denial or just flat out ignoring, these signs or these cries for help or like these very specific things. It's just interesting, and I'm still working through that. as everything, it's something that I work through and I think about consistently. All of that leads me to my next point, and I think it's like this is the Mad Black Dad part or the dad part that I really wanted to get at, is that Dom is 5, and I really get to talk about Dom a lot. I'm really excited about that. And Dion is only 6 months now, so like I have a lot of time before I really talk about her in this regard or consider her in this regard. But with Dom being 5, he's like now really tapping into these emotions, and he cries or he's happy or whatever. I don't ever want to be I don't ever want him to not feel seen. Because I have firsthand experience about what that felt like as an adult, as a grown ass man. I have that experience, and I know how that felt, and I can articulate how that felt. So for him, or for me, as I parent him and I'm a dad to him, I don't ever want him to like feel that way, because I know what that is. So, you know, even as I talk to him now, sometimes I do, check in. Hey, Dom, how's it going? How are you feeling? And of course, he's so happy to answer. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. And that's important, because I do want him to be able to say that he's good. And sometimes he does say that he's sad or he's frustrated. But I want him to be able to, one, know that he can tell me these things. And two, I want to be able to, like, I guess, sit with him in that, and also support him as he goes through that. So maybe it is like giving him a tip on what to do, or just letting him talk about it, even though he, still doesn't have a whole bunch to say about it. But just the fact that he's able to say something, I'm mad, I'm sad, and I'm okay with him having these words. Because again, I don't want to stifle him or prevent him from believing that he could feel these feelings and process these feelings, out loud, and with me specifically. So that's an interesting space that I'm in. And then, of course, as I get older, or as he gets older, I look to, or I hope to at least, have more, of course, in-depth conversations that are, at age level or age appropriate conversations about, how he's feeling, about his mental health, and about the things that he's seeing or not seeing or just kind of experiencing, because I know for me, in my teenage years, I didn't have to process, like, some people had extremely traumatic situations, and I did have some, but I didn't have the extreme things. I know that people had far worse situations than I did, and I can admit that I was caught up in my situation specifically. Just a big move to a new city that I didn't necessarily want to be in, and of course the parents getting divorced, and things like that. I make light of it now, but 14, 15-year-old me was like pressed about it. But I could fully, of course by now, I could fully accept and understand that in comparison, what I was experiencing was not as drastic as it could have been. And in that regard, I am appreciative of that. But I don't think I was as empathetic as I could have been to, like, my friends or anything like that. But I try to be better now, because I have more knowledge now. I have more experience now. I believe that I've matured some since 2008. But yeah, I now do my best to operate in a space where I'm never diminishing or making light of somebody's situation, specifically and especially their mental health. So it's never gonna be, for me, depress those dishes, because that doesn't get us anywhere. And I try my best to be intentional about supporting others and uplifting others and being empathetic to others, because it could have been worse. It could have been worse. And some people looking at these, seeing or being told depress them dishes in any creative, colorful fashion, was damaging. And I don't ever want to be damaging, not to my own, and also not to others. So I want to talk about the next thing that I'm trying to do with the podcast. So this is like a all call or a call to action. Call to action. This is a call to action. I'm looking for dads, all dads of all shapes and sizes, dads of all creed and cultures, dads that are single dads that are co-parenting, dads that are that have had to live away from their children for any particular amount of time, dads that are I'm just looking for all dads to come and be on camera or not, but definitely be on mic and be on the podcast, to share their experiences, to talk about some of the things that they have seen and been through in their journey through dadhood. I'm looking for all dads. I want to talk. I want us to sit down. I want us to do it on camera, off camera, with drinks, without drinks, with food, without food. I just want to, have these conversations because this is for us. This is for us. Like I've said it before, it is. I do find a great deal of therapy in this, but I'm also looking to bring other people in on this journey as well. So this is a call for all dads, expecting dads, single dads, dads that are dating, dads that are co-parenting, dads that are divorcing or separated. I'm looking for all dads to come on the podcast. So when you see this, shoot me an email. You can DM me on any platform. The email is themadblackdad@gmail.com. Mad Black Daddy on Instagram and Twitter. Or you can subscribe to the website diaryofamadblackdad.com. Wherever it is that you find me, or if you even just have my number, or you're on Facebook and you know me, send me a message and let's figure this out so we can have some more dads on here. The first two episodes had Sean and Jamel. We're gonna bring them back. Well, I don't know who we is. I'm gonna bring them back. But I also want to bring some more people on because they're not the only dads that I know, and they're not the only dads in the world. So hit me up so we can have some more of these dad conversations. I gotta know what y'all doing, where y'all at, how y'all feel, and what works and what doesn't work for y'all. So hit me up and let's do this. I think that's all I have for this week. We'll be back next week. This has been Mad Black Dad Podcast, and I'll catch y'all next time.